The market was alive with drums, women calling out prices, the smell of roasted maize, and children chasing each other between stalls. Yet Obinna walked through it with eyes darker than midnight. His clothes were torn, his pocket empty, and his spirit heavy with shame. He hated to see others laugh while he drowned in poverty. That day, a whisper followed him through the crowd like a shadow. They said there was a priest, deep in the forest, who could turn a beggar into a king. And my people say, when hunger grips the stomach, even a lie tastes like food. Obinna left the market with fire in his chest. He followed the dusty path that led into the bush. The sun burned his back, but his greed pushed him forward. He told himself, if the gods will not bless me, I will bless myself. He did not know that blessings stolen turn into curses that never sleep. My friends, listen well, and do not forget to subscribe to Big Chuck's Tale, because in this story, a simple handshake became the rope that tied a man's destiny. The shrine was thick with smoke and the smell of blood from sacrifices long past. Bones of goats and skulls of birds hung on the walls. The old priest came out slowly, his eyes glowing like fire under ash. His staff rattled as he struck the ground. Why have you come, son of man? His voice was deep, like thunder rolling through a valley. Obinna fell to his knees, trembling. Father, I am tired of poverty. I want riches, I want respect, I want power. The priest laughed, a laugh that made the air grow colder. Riches are not free, boy. Do you have the heart to carry the weight of blood? Obinna swallowed his fear. Yes. The priest leaned close, his breath heavy with herbs and smoke. Then listen. Stretch your hand. Shake others in greeting. In that touch, you will take their destiny, while they carry your emptiness. Their star will become your star. Their wealth will become your wealth. Obinna's eyes widened. A smile broke across his face. He thought he had found salvation. But truly, he had found his grave. The next morning, Obinna returned to the market. He saw a young yam trader, cheerful and sweating as he arranged his tubers. Obinna walked up, smiling warmly. Brother, how market? The trader laughed, stretching his hand. Obinna gripped it tightly. The trader felt nothing. He even joked, Obinna, your palm is strong. They both laughed, but only one walked away with a future. That night, Obinna found a bag of money lying at his doorstep. He screamed with joy. He danced. He poured himself palm wine and shouted to the moon, the gods have remembered me. But the yam trader's house was full of tears. By morning, all his tubers had rotted in a strange way. Customers avoided him, saying he was cursed. His children went hungry, his wife cried. He could not explain how everything turned to dust in one night. My people say, the lizard that nods without climbing a tree is being mocked by something in the bush. Obinna was the one mocking him with stolen destiny. Soon, Obinna made handshakes his weapon. He walked proudly through the market, shaking hands with men, women, even children. Each handshake was a theft. Each smile was a lie. One by one, destinies drained from innocent palms into his greedy hands. He bought new clothes, built a big house, and people began to call him Obinna the Blessed. But at night, shadows filled his dreams. He heard voices crying, give me back my life. He woke in fear, but in the morning, his greed silenced his conscience. He began to believe he was untouchable. Who can stop me? Even the gods watch me and do nothing, he boasted. But my people say, the goat that laughs at the hunter has not yet seen the sharpened knife. Obinna had not yet met the one handshake that would break his pride. One hot afternoon, Obinna saw David, a humble tomato seller. David was loved by many. He shared food with widows, gave coins to beggars, and never cheated anyone. Obinna's eyes narrowed. If I can take his star, I will never suffer again. He walked to David's store, smiling like a friend. Brother David, Our market. David, unsuspecting, stretched his hand. Their palms touched. Obinna felt the rush of power, like water flowing into his veins. He laughed silently in his heart. But David felt a chill crawl through his body. That night, he dreamed of a shadow stealing his light and laughing. He woke with sweat soaking his chest. The next day, his basket of tomatoes disappeared from the market. He searched everywhere, but it was gone. He thought it was only theft. He did not know that what was stolen was deeper than tomatoes, it was his destiny. Days turned into weeks, and David's misfortunes grew heavier. His small savings in the bank vanished through fraud. His friends abandoned him, whispering that he carried bad luck. Even his family looked at him with fear. David cried to the sky, "Why me? What did I do to offend the gods?" But the heavens were silent. At night, his dreams returned, shadows chasing him, chains dragging at his feet, voices mocking him. David grew weaker each day, yet he remembered something his grandmother once said, "When your road suddenly turns into a river of sorrow, go and ask the wise." With trembling hands, he carried kola nut and palm wine, and went in search of a priest. His heart was heavy, but he refused to let despair win. The priest took one look at David and sighed deeply. "My son, your star has been stolen." David's heart jumped. "By who? Tell me." The priest closed his eyes, and a vision appeared. He saw Obinna's greedy palm, stretching in false greeting. "It was through a handshake," he said slowly. "That man took your destiny." David gasped. "Obinna. It was him. I should have known." The priest shook his head. "Anger will not save you. To restore your star, you must pass through trial. Only the strong survive the fire of destiny." He gave David 3 tasks, 3 nights in the sacred forest, a libation at the 4 corners of the market, and finally, a confrontation with Obinna. David trembled, but he bowed. He would fight for what was his. My friend, do not forget to subscribe to Big Chuck's Tale, where stories like this keep the wisdom of the ancestors alive. David entered the sacred forest with only a white cloth. The first night, he heard voices whispering his name. The second night, a black snake circled him but did not strike. The third night, thunder cracked across the sky, but he remained silent under the cloth. By dawn, the forest grew calm, and he knew the ancestors had tested his courage. Next came the libation. At the 4 corners of the market, he poured palm wine on the ground and called the names of his ancestors. "Return to me what was stolen. Restore balance to our land." The ground shook lightly, and a cold wind swept through the stalls. Traders fainted, chickens scattered, and goats cried. Something unseen was moving. Something stolen was being forced back into place. Obinna was feasting in his new house when suddenly his right hand burned like fire. He screamed, rolling on the ground. His money turned to dust. His clothes tore. His roof cracked. In his dreams, he saw the faces of those he had robbed. They chased him with empty eyes, their voices like thunder, "Give us back our lives." He cried, begging for mercy, but the curse had found him. Meanwhile, David felt his body grow lighter. His chest swelled with strength. He knew his star was returning. The market people gathered, whispering, watching as 2 destinies clashed, one rising, one falling. At last, David stood before Obinna. Not with anger, but with sorrow. "Brother, the hand you used to steal is the same hand that now destroys you. Return what is not yours." Obinna wept, but his wealth had already melted into nothing. The priest raised his staff and declared, "Let all remember, not every hand you shake carries friendship. Some hands carry chains. Be wise." From that day, the people of the market changed. They stopped shaking hands carelessly. They warned their children, "Greet with your lips, not always with your palm." And whenever strangers came, They remembered the story of Obinna and David, the cursed handshake. So my friends, the next time you walk through the market, be careful whose hand you shake. And as you carry this wisdom, do not forget to subscribe to Big Chuck's Tale, where every story is a bridge between the living and the ancestors.